Let's begin with a traffic mess. A disaster in the along the Caldecott tunnel, a traffic mess for commuters. Look at this, lingering impacts of a fire that shut down the Caldecott tunnel. Plus, riding BART is much safer than in recent years, at least according to new data. But are commuters noticing a difference?
A year ago, if you were to ask me this question, I don't know that I would be having my laptop out.
What BART says is driving the drop in violent crime, and where riders say there is still work to do. Plus, trying to ditch Oakland's reputation as a place that's not safe for business. We'll meet a restaurant owner who's hopeful the new mayor can help turn things around. And later, San Jose welcomes back a downtown staple that had been dormant for years. We'll check in with vendors at the much-awaited return of the downtown farmers market.
It's good to bring fresh life into downtown. It's been dead for quite a few years.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Okay, heads up. We do begin with a traffic alert, a commute alert, if you will. Take a look at this. The flames are out, but the mile-long backup is certainly taking its whole toll on traffic. It remains a mess for commuters as we speak. So this is the Caldecott Tunnel. What happened is a car fire in the Caldecott Tunnel caused a major traffic jam on eastbound Highway 24. The fire started a little before 5 o'clock as the evening commute was building. Chopper video showing smoke pouring out of the tunnel. One of the bores is back open, but CHP has not been able to get the burned out car out of the other bore that actually shut down. So the result, we're talking miles of gridlock. Bore 1 and Bore 2 were both closed while firefighters worked to put out this fire. Getting to the fire was the problem, but once they got there, it was out within minutes. All right, but the damage is done. Here's a look at traffic now on eastbound 24. Traffic is backed up to 580. There is a significant slowdown on Highway 13 as well. You know, it is days like this that make riding BART seem like a great idea. And today the agency is touting a big drop in crime. BART says violent crime is down nearly a quarter compared to the first 3 months of 2024. And if riders don't feel safe, it will be that much harder for BART to bounce back from its pandemic drop-off. Our Lauren Toms asked commuters if they're seeing any improvements.
After years of plummeting ridership rates and a surge in crime, BART is now taking its own victory ride of sorts as some of those numbers appear to stabilize. We spoke with riders who tell us they are seeing change both on the cars and here in the stations, but they say there's still more work to be done.
Just 6 months ago, Itza Sanchez says she never would have had her laptop out with her writing BART. But today, she says, times have changed.
I would say in the last 6 months, for sure, I have felt safer. I would say a year ago, if you were to ask me this question, I don't know that I would be having my laptop out or, kind of engaging in my technology in that way.
A Bay Area native, she's taken BART her whole life, and it hasn't always been smooth riding.
There have been times when I have moved cars because the current individuals that were in a car definitely did not make me feel safe, or I was too far away from maybe the train operator to get the attention that I would need for help.
Stepping onto the train, she says she's still aware of her surroundings, but feels the impact of BART's efforts to reduce crime and improve cleanliness.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Sitting close to the aisle so that I can't be trapped in if somebody sits next to me, and making these conscious decisions. Again, these are just some of the things that you think about when you're writing in general, but I feel like over the course of the last 6 months, you don't have to as much anymore, but it's still an active behavior that you do just to keep yourself safe.
Newly released numbers by BART show a 23% drop in violent crime compared to last year. And BART Police Chief Kevin Franklin tells us that's the result of more boots on the ground.
And it's really paying off now. I think that presence, we're seeing the customer perception of how many officers and how many civilians are seeing out there increasing. And we're seeing crime stats go down during that period of time also. It's been very busy, but the presence is the key.
Local leaders, including BART's board of directors and Congresswoman Latifah Simon, took their victory lap aboard a train, applauding the changes made. General Manager Bob Powers telling us it's worth celebrating.
23% is a lot. That's like 1 out of 5, right? I mean, it's a lot, and it's a lot to do with the decisions that we've made.
And Itza says she can feel the change, and that's not only good for her own commute.
It has to do with safety. If riders don't feel safe, they're not going to want to use it. If it's not affordable, they're not going to want to use it. So all of those things put together, I think really has an impact not only on our usage, but also just the institution that is BART and the importance that it is in the Bay Area.
But it's also good for the Bay.
Now, fare evasion remains an issue for BART as it struggles to recoup its profits in the post-pandemic era. I'm told BART is about halfway through installing its new fare gate systems across its stations, and the remaining 25 stations without those new fare gate systems can expect those to be installed by the end of the year.
Now, hanging over all of this, BART's self-proclaimed fiscal cliff. The agency says it has cut enough from the budget to avoid a deficit for the next fiscal year starting on July 1st. But after that, BART estimates a shortfall of up to $400 million. And coming up in our next hour, San Francisco's transit agency is facing its own budget crisis. And one way to pinch pennies is cracking down on fare evasion.
Nah, that's not the highlight of my day, to be honest with you. I try to look for an out for him, you know. Unfortunately, he didn't have an out for himself.
Next at 7, our Max Darrow rides along with Muni Fare inspectors to see how the strategy is working out. Deputies in San Francisco no longer need a warrant to conduct searches of criminal defendants. The 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals reversed a federal judge's decision to block SF Sheriff's pretrial monitoring program. According to the program's rules, defendants released before trial must allow officers to search their body, home, car, and property at any time during release. The court called these search requirements reasonable safety measures. It also ruled that defendants' locations can be shared with other agencies. Well, some hope for a Marin County community in mourning, where a tragic car crash killed 4 teenagers. One of the 2 teen survivors has now been released from the hospital. The family of Marley Barclay says she has a long road to recovery, both mentally and physically. People have been leaving flowers, balloons, and heartfelt letters and messages at the crash site where their car hit a tree and caught fire on Friday. Marley's family says the teens swerved into the tree to avoid an oncoming car. The CHP says they are still investigating the crash. This happened on San Geronimo Valley Drive near Sir Francis Drake Boulevard. The victims all went to Archie Williams High School. Today, students at other local schools wore its colors, green and white, to honor their fellow classmates. And just a few blocks away, a local pizza place is holding a fundraiser to support the families of the victims. The restaurant's owner, Pat Townsley, says the outpouring of support has been tremendous.
It's just down the street a couple blocks. All the families have eaten here. We are such a tight-knit community. Everybody wants to help. It's just an outpouring of sadness and love and compassion, and where can we help?
Creekside Pizza and Tap Room has also posted links to the family's individual fundraising pages on their website. A robbery left a major mess at a 7-Eleven in Oakland last night. Thieves drove through the left window panel and stole a safe. So check this out. You can see the entire window pane was shattered and the area behind the counter ransacked. So since this morning, workers installed a plywood covering where the store was rammed into, and employees like Kamal have been cleaning up all the damage.
I feel like very bad, you know. Yeah, everything is broken here. You know, they took like a lot of money, you know.
This happened at Bay Place in Harrison near Lake Merritt. Police are still estimating just how much was stolen and damaged. So the robbery comes about a year after that same 7-Eleven was targeted in a robbery where a security guard was killed. Hundreds of shops and restaurants across Oakland have dealt with incidents like that over the past few years. It's caused many business owners to pack up and leave. But one restaurant owner told our Suji Nam the recent shakeup at City Hall has her feeling optimistic about Oakland's future.
Inside the Shooting Star Cafe in Oakland, you're nearly 7,000 miles away from Hong Kong. But once you step inside the restaurant, it's almost like you travel to China. experiencing the culture through these popular Hong Kong-style dishes.
For me, it's for memory when I grew up in Hong Kong. So the food, the taste.
Karen Fong moved to Oakland in 1990 and opened her restaurant, the Shooting Star Cafe, in Chinatown.
We're making fried rice, chow mein, and then also sandwich.
Bringing the taste of her motherland to neighbors and visitors from all over the Bay Area. However, Fong says since the pandemic, she's lost about 50% of foot traffic, saying public safety is a major factor.
Most of the customers, sometimes they travel out, to Oakland, stop in Oakland. Sometimes they're going to Reno or South Bay. In the middle, they stop by and then come to eat. But now they are just afraid to passing the freeway to Oakland. Too dangerous.
While Fong is now managing 3 restaurants in Chinatown, she's noticing many of her fellow business owners are leaving.
Frustrating, maybe everybody who works in city.
She's optimistic, however, that with new leadership, including Mayor-elect Barbara Lee and District 2 Council Member-elect Charlene Wong, change is coming.
In my own neighborhood, I see a number of small businesses have left. The Walgreens had left. You actually see these more and more vacant storefronts.
With a nearly $130 million budget shortfall, Wong knows there's a long road ahead, but she says small businesses are the driving force of economic revitalization.
Small businesses are really core to that. They are the lifeblood of what makes Oakland unique.
And that begins by pushing to fill Oakland police vacancies, launching programs to close some homeless encampments and moving people into shelters, while also connecting them to jobs.
With some pragmatic support and with support from city leadership, we can fill those vacant storefronts and really start rebuilding back our communities.
And Fong hopes these visions will become reality.
Hong Kong milk tea we're making.
So that she can continue doing what she loves.
All my customers like family. 99% is loyalty. They always coming back.
Bringing comfort through food right here in Oakland.
Still ahead here at 6, a long-awaited return for San Jose's Farmers Market. We'll hear from local businesses who say it's bringing energy back to downtown.
We need more things like this. It's great.
You can see the energy, what's flowing.
Plus, the scathing report that caused a Cupertino Whole Foods to shut down until further notice. It's been 3 years, but downtown San Jose finally has a farmers market again. And today, city leaders held a ribbon cutting at the market's new location. All right, so where is it now? Well, the market has taken over the plaza outside the Hammer Theater Center off 2nd Street near San Jose State. It is just a couple of blocks from the old 1st Street location. Our Devin Feely checked in with business owners and visitors excited to see the farmers market make its triumphant return.
I sell and make the jewelry. I pop up at events.
Beth McCoy sells custom-made jewelry and says San Jose's farmers market is tailor-made for her fledgling business.
It's been great. Actually, a lot of people came out, stopped by to visit. All the students came by even. Some of the people working the buildings around here have came down.
2, 3. City leaders held a ribbon cutting for the new farmers market today. The overarching goal is to bring more people and energy and options into downtown, which has struggled since the pandemic.
I think this is great. I love seeing all the people out and about. It's good to bring fresh life into downtown. It's been dead for quite a few years, so it's good to see people out.
Nicole Zendeas has worked downtown for years and saw the area emptied out during the pandemic. The recovery, she says, has been sluggish, but the farmers market is a good start.
We need more things like this. It's great. Yeah, especially to encourage students to come out.
Business owners like Jim Angelopoulos, founder of Popular Campus Burger, says he experienced increased foot traffic during the market.
The traffic was at least 20–30% higher from a regular day, but you can see the energy, what's flowing. Besides students walking back and forth across the campus, there were definitely a lot of customers here to support the farmers market.
Beth says that she will undoubtedly return, hoping to build on the momentum of this successful launch.
Lots of people are coming out. I think they like to support small businesses, and they come out and shop around and enjoy themselves. And
the downtown farmers market will be open from 9 a.m. to 1:30 every Wednesday. A Whole Foods market in Cupertino is temporarily shut down after a health inspection found an active rodent infestation. So we're talking about the Whole Foods on Stevens Creek Boulevard, down the street from Highway 85 and De Anza College. We went by the store today and saw workers dumping contaminated food. Inspectors with the Santa Clara County Department of Environmental Health observed rodent droppings in multiple areas in the store, including in the deli and the juice bar. The store has until May 6th to correct these violations. A spokesperson for Whole Foods did send us a statement saying, in part, we will reopen once the repairs are completed thoroughly to support our high standards for food safety and service. We apologize to our customers for this inconvenience. All right, some updates now on a couple of stories we first brought you yesterday. Last night, the Concord City Council voted to approve an ordinance that will loosen the tenant protection law that was passed just last year. This new ordinance will allow a 5% flat rate rent increase and will allow landlords with 2 or fewer properties to evict a tenant without just cause. This new ordinance will take effect in 30 days. And the Berkeley City Council unanimously voted last night to demolish the historic United Artists Theater downtown to make way for more housing. The building was bought in 2022 with a plan to build an apartment tower with 227 units. 23 of them will be designated for affordable housing. The community organization Save UA Theater Berkeley argued that the building shouldn't be demolished since it's listed on the California Historic Registry.
Gray skies over the bay for most of today. Well, farther inland, you saw sunshine that did not really warm temperatures up very much at all. Only in the mid-60s for highs in Concord and Santa Rosa. Only in the mid-50s in San Francisco and in Half Moon Bay. We're going to stay chilly for the next couple of days, but there is a warm up farther down the line. Details coming up in the First Alert forecast.
All right, let's get to our weather forecast. Paul keeps saying chilly, which is reminding me we never had our newsroom chili cook-off.
It's okay to admit that you're afraid of me.
I did try yours. It was very good, and it had a little bite to it.
That must have been a mild batch, because when I make it right, it's got a full-fledged, mule kick.
Well, let's try to do that sometime.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's going to be right for it over the next few days. Temperatures are going to be on the cool side. So there's still time.
I might go organize it right now. Okay. I'll send you an email.
If you're not afraid.
I might be afraid.
Let's take a look at the cloud cover. It's going to spread out as we head through the rest of tonight. We are going to see quite a bit of fog and low cloud cover spreading across the entire Bay Area, not just over the bay and along the coast where it's been hanging out today. Inland locations are going to start off with gray skies as well. And even as the lowest cloud cover retreats to the coast, we're still going to see clouds farther up in the atmosphere, either filtering or occasionally blocking the sun. That, combined with a pretty strong onshore breeze, is going to limit how much our temperatures are going to warm up. So highs tomorrow are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees below average. Santa Clara Valley only getting up into the mid-60s by tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures on the warm end of the spectrum, not that warm. 67 degrees around Antioch and Brentwood. Same temperature for Fairfield. Temperatures near the coast only in the mid-50s, upper 50s for San Francisco. Otherwise, low 60s around the Bay and low to mid-60s in the North Bay. These numbers aren't going to change a whole lot for Friday and Saturday. So a 3-day stretch of the coolest temperatures that we are going to experience, and along with the cool air, we're also going to have pretty decent winds to make it feel even chillier. These are the wind gusts every 6 hours from one of the forecast models for tomorrow and Friday. And if you don't want to focus on the specific numbers, I know there's a lot of data on here. Just want to have as many locations on the chart as possible. Just look at the colors in the background. The orange indicates 20+ mile-an-hour gusts. The red squares, there's a few of those. 30+ mile-an-hour wind gusts, which are going to be more likely tomorrow. The winds back down slightly on Friday, but it's still going to be a breezy day. Tomorrow will be a cool and breezy day for Millie, hanging out in a field of flowers. I don't think she's going to have very much sunshine to frolic in tomorrow, but temperatures in Los Gatos are going to get up into the mid-60s during the afternoon. And if she's not a fan of the cooler weather, she doesn't have to wait too long. Back to sunbathing weather by the first half of next week as temperatures are going to warm back up. And if you want to share your pup with us, we're taking submissions. My email there is on the corner of the graphic. You can just email me a picture of your dog, your location, and make sure you remember your dog's name as well so we can get him on television. Let's take a look at the next chance of showers, which is going to be heading our way. Something we haven't talked about in a few weeks. It's been a dry stretch of weather, which isn't stunning in the month of April, but usually we see at least a few rain chances. Well, the next one's finally going to head our way as we hit the end of the work week. More clouds and sunshine tomorrow and Friday, but I think we stay dry most of Friday. Just a couple of pop-up showers Friday evening. The best chance of rain is likely to move up from the south as the heart of the storm system is going to be offshore, everything pinwheeling around it. That's going to happen Friday night into early Saturday. This forecast model anticipates that I-80 is going to be kind of the dividing line between not much rain at all to the north and a decent amount, anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 inch of total rainfall to the south of I-80. But all that storm system has to do is follow a slightly different path, and the entire distribution of rain could get rearranged. So we'll keep you updated. We're still a few days away from this arriving, but if that path does hold, well, then the North Bay wouldn't see very much at all, maybe a couple hundredths of an inch of rain, while farther to the south, maybe 1/10 of an inch to just over 1/4 inch of total rainfall. It's the most likely scenario at this point, but there is still time for things to change, so we will keep you updated. For the coast, temperatures are going to bottom out in the mid-50s for the next few days. And then it's not much of a climb, but it counts. As more sunshine breaks through, you'll be up into the low 60s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. The climb around the bay is going to be a little more noticeable. After highs struggling to near 60 degrees through the first half of the weekend, we're back up to around 70 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And those inland high temperatures are also going to be climbing back up to slightly above normal levels. After only the lower half of the 60s into the weekend, we are going to be back up to around 80 degrees already by Tuesday and Wednesday. So kind of a warm up, more typical of springtime weather for late April.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You bet.
All right. When we come back, we're going to check in with Dub Nation as the Warriors get ready for Game 2 against the Rockets. And Maurice Dubois has a look at what's ahead on the CBS Evening News.
The FBI says cyber scams are costing Americans billions of dollars. How are online thieves getting away with it? That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Now you can get your KPIX news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.
Dub Nation ready to cheer the Warriors to a 2-0 series lead over the Houston Rockets. So right now, dozens of people are filling Thrive City ahead of Game 2 in their first round series. Take a look.
Let's go Warriors! Let's go Warriors!
They're good. The game is about to tip off at 6:30 in Houston. The Dubs took Game 1 on Sunday. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler combined for 56 points for the win. Another victory tonight would put Golden State up 2-0 with Game 3 back at Chase Center on Saturday. Let's make that happen. All right, thanks for watching us. The CBS Evening News with Maurice Dubois is next on KPIX. We have local news streaming always on CBS News Bay Area. We're back right here in 30 minutes with more news just for you at 7 o'clock. We'll see you then.